Born in Zanzibar, Freddie Mercury grew up there and in India before moving to London. Madonna was raised in Michigan before moving to New York with just $35. Born in Gary, Indiana, the late Michael Jackson began a legendary career that changed pop music forever. Mick Jagger was born in Kent, England, where he met future bandmate Keith Richards at school. Cher was born in El Centro, California, and later moved to Los Angeles to pursue stardom. Born in Birmingham, the late Ozzy Osbourne formed Black Sabbath, becoming the definitive godfather of heavy metal. Born in New York, Steven Tyler spent his youth in Boston, where Aerosmith was formed. Raised in Sussex, England, Robert Smith began writing music during his high school years. Born in Israel, Gene Simmons immigrated to New York as a child before co-founding Kiss. Alice Cooper was born in Detroit, but later moved to Phoenix, where his band started. Born and raised in London, Tony Hadley discovered his passion for singing during his school days. Cyndi Lauper grew up in Brooklyn, New York, surrounded by the diverse sounds of the city. Raised in Lafayette, Indiana, Axl Rose moved to Los Angeles in the early 80s to rock. The late David Bowie was born in Brixton, London, an area that deeply inspired his early artistic vision. Raised in Middlesex, Elton John taught himself to play the piano in his family home. Bruce Springsteen grew up in New Jersey, a place that heavily influenced his cinematic songwriting. Born in Nutbush, Tennessee, the legendary Tina Turner first sang in local church choirs during her youth. Born and raised in Minneapolis, the late icon Prince wrote and produced his first tracks in his hometown. The unforgettable George Michael was born in London and formed his first band while attending high school. Born in New Jersey, Jon Bon Jovi worked at a New York recording studio during his youth. Raised in London, Phil Collins started acting and playing drums at a very young age. Sting grew up near the shipyards of Wallsend, England, before moving to London for music. Born and raised in Dublin, Bono met his future U2 bandmates at school in 1976. Born in London, Boy George grew up influenced by the vibrant Irish heritage of his family. Simon Le Bon grew up in Hertfordshire, England, and studied drama before joining Duran Duran. Born in Aberdeen, Scotland, Annie Lennox moved to London to study classical music at college. Raised in New Jersey, Debbie Harry moved to New York City in the late 60s for art. Born in Middlesex, Billy Idol lived in New York briefly before joining the punk scene. Lionel Richie grew up on the campus of Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, where his band formed. Born in Ontario, Canada, Bryan Adams traveled across Europe during his youth with his military father. The late Whitney Houston was raised in Newark, New Jersey, and began singing in her local gospel choir. Born in San Fernando, California, Paula Abdul started her career as a cheerleader for the Lakers. Steve Perry was raised in Hanford, California, where he discovered his love for singing early on. Born in Jönköping, Sweden, Agnetha Fältskog achieved her first solo musical success before turning 18. Born in Norway, Anni-Frid Lyngstad moved to Sweden as a child and began singing jazz early. Stevie Nicks moved frequently during her youth, living across Arizona, Utah, and California. Raised in Worcestershire, England, Robert Plant developed a deep passion for American blues music. Born and raised in London, Rod Stewart initially pursued a career in professional football. Billy Joel grew up in Long Island, New York, taking piano lessons from a young age. Born and raised in Detroit, Diana Ross lived in the same neighborhood as Smokey Robinson. The legendary Donna Summer grew up in Boston, later moving to Germany to perform in musical theater. Raised in Long Island, New York, Pat Benatar initially trained to be a classical opera singer. Born in Cambridge, England, the beloved Olivia Newton-John emigrated to Melbourne, Australia at 5 years old. Born and raised in Brooklyn, Barbra Streisand graduated from high school alongside classmate Neil Diamond. Born in Akron, Ohio, Chrissie Hynde moved to London in the 70s to pursue rock. The late rock icon Meat Loaf grew up in Dallas, Texas, before moving to Los Angeles. Born in London, John Farnham emigrated to Melbourne, Australia, with his family as a child. Van Morrison grew up in Belfast, Northern Ireland, listening to his father's classic record collection. Raised in Sheffield, the late Joe Cocker grew up in a musical family and loved American blues. Born in Lancashire, England, Rick Astley became a global internet phenomenon decades after his debut.